Virginia's time. Introducing the Mitchell Family Reality Show TV, where they do vlogs, cooking shows, food reviews, punk shows, pranks, challenges, paranormal investigations, and reality shows, and more. So if you like what you hear, go ahead and subscribe, like, hit that notification bell so you don't miss out. She doesn't care, man. None of this means anything to me. Then I try. Yeah, what? See. Do that. I want to see.
What's going on, Beth? How you feeling today? Are you okay? Welcome to the Mitchell Family Reality Show TV, ladies and gentlemen. First and foremost, we want to go ahead and start our shout outs. Shout out to all our followers. Thank you guys for being here. Shout out to all our moderators. Thank you for doing what you do for us. Shout out to all the firefighters, ambulance service personnel, rescue squad personnel, police officers from state police, sheriffs, highway patrol, city polices, and also federal officers, all from West Virginia, all the way across the United States and country to country, across seas. Also, shout out to the Scarlet Knights, all the football players, all the coaches, all the cheerleaders, all the board members, all the parents. Shout out to you all. Shout out to our men and women that serve for our country. So, anyways, if I missed anybody, I'm going to shout you out. Shout out to Green Bay Wacky, Cab 7, and Lunatic Dad. And anybody else I missed, shout out to you all. Y'all come on in the chat. We're going to have a story time. I'm going to share a story with you all. A true story that I want to go ahead and get out. So come on in the chat. Make sure you hit that share button, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to share on my end.
Yeah, there's a story.
Huh?
I just farted. That's a story.
Yeah. There you go. There's a story. So anyways, go ahead and share out, ladies and gentlemen. If you share on Twitter,
don't share.
Please make sure
don't subscribe. Don't comment. Don't like.
I'm honest.
Don't do nothing.
I care about people. I am those things.
What are you doing?
I'm the opposite today.
Holy cow, Sharon.
His standards are so high. He considers hatred to be bad and lust to be adultery.
So we're going to share a story with you all. Something that happened to me and my family.
Blah, 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 blah. That's what happened.
And it's based on a true story. Country girl, what's going on? I'm still going to send that information to you. Okay, that's cool. Y'all make sure you hit that thumbs up, hit that share button, and hit that subscribe button so you can join our family. Sharon's being the opposite way today. I don't know why. She's never the opposite, goes opposite, but she is who she is, I guess, today. I don't know. She's probably just messing around. So we're going to go ahead and get into this. Make sure y'all share out so we can get more people up in here. Go to sleep.
I can't.
Why?
I have tried to demonstrate that I
Why?
care about this relationship.
I bought her flowers. What she can
Come on in, guys. Hit that thumbs up. Then. Hit that share button. Plants time. What's going on? Welcome, guys, to the Mitchell Family Reality Show TV. All right, throw it, baby. Throw it. Throw it. Throw it. Do it. So, anyways, let me share this, please. This is our story. This is something that happened to us in our life. So we're asking each and every one of you all to please share our story. I will not be able to read the chat right away. So here we go. Let me go back and welcome everybody before I start this. Make sure y'all please hit the thumbs up. And hit that share button. Let's get the story out there. We want people to hear the story. So here we go. In 2014 of July, me and my family went homeless based on a shady landlord. We was in Parkersburg, West Virginia at this time because the landlord infested our place by moving old trailers out. So we lost all our stuff. We lost all our stuff, ladies and gentlemen, okay? We lost everything. We lost from our wrestling gear, our furniture, our washer and dryer, our TV, all our kids' stuff. All our stuff was so infested. We could not take nothing hardly with us. The only thing we brought with us was our pictures that we was able to save from our kids and all of us. That's the only thing we was able to save. That's it. We had to leave everything else behind. Literally. I mean, we had to go out and we shaked. I'll take that back. We had to go out and shake some clothes out to take with us. We had to, but we went into a motel in 2014. We only had 2 nights. That's it. Hotels are expensive, ladies and gentlemen. We all know. So we went into this motel for 2 nights. The first night, I could not sleep at all. Not one bit. Something told me to go get an ad bulletin. So I did. I went and get an ad bulletin. And I was up all night long. I didn't find nothing. I couldn't hardly sleep. And was so worried. Hopefully that we can get off the streets. We brought this to the landlord's attention, the shady landlord, before we left the trailer where we was living in. The floors was coming up. The walls was falling in. And we asked them, you always moving these old trailers and all these roaches are coming to our place. They're infesting our place. Can you pay for the infestation problem? Can you have maintenance work done? They was not going to do nothing. Not one single thing. Not one. So like I said, we shake some clothes out. We got the pictures. And we took what we could with us. We had to make sure there was nothing in them. No bugs. And we went to this motel. And we had a dog. We had a cat that we had to leave in this trailer. We couldn't bring him with to the motel. So we we saw this place was advertising, and they was advertising as a shelter, like they take in places like a private shelter place. Well, we called them up, and we was like, we explained our situation. Bring them on over. When you get back on your feet, you can get your animals back. Cool deal. Awesome. So we was doing researches. I told him I said it'd be a little while. We was doing some researches, and it'd be about a day or two before we bring them over. So, anyways, as we was trying to find homeless shelters, because we was, I went to talk to a friend before we went into the motel. They had ground rules where you come in at a certain time, you eat, your kids bathe, they do their homework, you bathe, but you're sharing rooms with everybody else. I didn't want to do that. And nowhere to put, and we had to lock our stuff up with everybody else's stuff. Because we had to leave that next morning. I mean, we didn't stay, but if you stayed there, you had to leave the premises and come back in at that same time, again in the evening. And I'm like, I'm not down for this, you know. So we was walking around town trying to figure out what to do, and then she goes, can we just get a motel for a couple of days? That's what Sharon said. So we did. We got a motel for a couple of days. And so we started looking up homeless shelters. I've started writing them all down on like a notepad, literally writing them down. Couldn't call the first day because it was really late. So the second day, the last day we had in the motel, called them up. It's going through the list. Several of them had no openings. One of them says, yeah, we can have you come in and y'all can stay with us, but you know I have no visitors. You got to lose communication with your family. Y'all got chores. And we separate you from your kids. No. Let me call you back and talk to my wife. Never called him back. At all. Never. So anyways, so I threw the notepad in the floor. Sharon asked me, me and Sharon was talking. We was getting frustrated. We was getting irritated. And I said, we've called. She goes, have we called all the homeless shelters? I said, yes, we've called all the homeless shelters. She goes, there's not another number on there or not? I walked over to the notepad. I looked down, basically. I said, yes, just one more number. She says, call that number. I said, what if they don't accept us? What if they don't, what if they don't accept us, like have no openings? Sharon gave me that look. Call that number. So I did. I called it. And this woman this woman answers the phone. I dial up the number. This woman answers the phone. She says, Jericho House, Miss Cutlip speaking. I introduced myself. I explained the situation, what was going on. I told her we're staying in the motel. That's the second day. The following day, we had to be out, ladies and gentlemen. So, anyways, she said, we usually don't take people from out of town or out of state at all. And I said, I understand that, but we have nowhere to go. We're going to be in the streets tomorrow if we can't find nowhere today. And this may have been like a day or two before July the 4th. It was in July of 2014. It was like a day or two before July the 4th. And she goes, do you have family down here in the Charleston area? I mean, I literally paused and I was like, just thinking, I don't have family here in West Virginia. And I said, yes. I said, my wife's grandmother. I said, she lives in Dunbar, West Virginia. She goes, can you have her call me so that I can have a reference? I said, yes. It'll be a few minutes because I got to explain the situation. Explain the situation to her. And Susie's place, what's going on? Kentucky fam, what's going on? So I called her grandmother up and I explained the situation, what's going on. I said, can you call this place and be a reference? She was obliged willing to help us. So I hung up with her. She calls down there and talks to her. And they had a nice little conversation. She didn't know we was homeless at all. So in 2014, she didn't know we was homeless. So she calls us back and tells us she talked to her. And hopefully things will get better. She'll pray for us. So I called Miss Cutlip back and talked to her. And she tells me, she goes, you still understand we don't usually take people from out of town or out of state. And I'm sitting here thinking, when she's telling me this, I'm like, oh my God, we're not going to be able to get in. She says, how soon can y'all be down? I just felt the weight literally lifting off of me. Literally. I said, I'll call the car lot, the rental car lot, the rental place, get a car, and because they knew our situation, because we've already talked to them. And then because I knew the manager there. So anyways, I said, as soon as I get hold of them and we get a vehicle, we'll be on down. So anyways, soon I got off the phone with her, I called the rental place. Talked to the manager that I knew. He said about 3 o'clock, I'll have your car ready. Phone rings around that time. He goes, Mr. Mitchell. He goes, I have your vehicle. I said, can somebody come pick me up? He goes, yes. So he had somebody come pick me up at the motel where we were at. Went down, done my paperwork, came back. I said, before I left, I said, honey, please have everything ready. She did. I just went to the room, help her carry some stuff, the little stuff that we had, loaded up in the trunk. And man, as soon as we loaded it up in the trunk, we had a full tank of gas. While we done it, we went straight to the interstate and just kept on driving. Kept on driving to St. Albans, West Virginia. We pulled up in front of this place in their driveway. Well, beside the place, I said in front, but in their driveway. Went to the door and knocked on it. This older lady came to the door, and so I said, Miss Cutlip? She was, yes. And I told her who I was. She goes, okay. She goes, well, welcome to the Jericho house. She was really nice. The nicest lady that you can ever meet. Do anything for anybody. Has a very kind heart. Very kind heart. So anyways, we went in. We all started talking. And she says, y'all be staying upstairs. And it was like apartments. Only thing you got to do is make sure you keep it clean. You buy your own food. You pay off your old bills. Make sure your kids is fed, bathed, and keep clean clothes on. We have a laundry facility down in the basement. And this was a house that was donated to them. That was no issue. So the only thing we had to pay was the old bills that we was behind on. One last bill left, ladies and gentlemen. One last bill. A water bill. $500. Called the water company up. I said, we gotta get these bills, gotta get this bill caught up before we can leave this. I said, me and my family are homeless. We're living in a homeless shelter. We gotta get this bill caught up. So she told me it was $500. I said, because we stayed in this place for 6 months. And so she goes, hold on 1 second. Put me on hold. She came back online. I said, I want to make a payment arrangement with you all so I can get this paid off. So we got 6 months to get this done. I said, how much can I pay? She goes, Mr. Mitchell, you have a $0 balance. You don't have to pay nothing. I was so, at first she told me 500. I was so excited. I just started to cry. My wife, I told her about it. She was excited too, that we didn't have to put no more money out on old bills. She told me I had a zero balance, $0 to owe on this bill. And I'm like, oh. I said, how did that happen? I said, you just told me it was $500. And she told me, she goes, you don't have to worry about it no more. You're caught up. I said, does somebody pay for it? She goes, I don't know. I think she knew, but she didn't want to tell me. But at least that was done and over with. So one day my wife walks outside with the kids. Was it a woman or a guy, honey? She must be asleep. So this person approaches her and gives my wife money and just walks away. A guy gives my wife money and just literally walks away out of the blue. Just gone, vanishes, gone. How much to give you?
$500.
Gave her $500.
And it was around Christmas.
And it was around Christmas time, ladies and gentlemen. She's over telling me this. $500 around Christmas time. He gives her $500 and just walks away. I think you need it more than I do. The kids were with her, and it was her and the kids. And this literally gave us $500 around Christmas time and walks away. I think you need this more than I do. And the kids had a good Christmas. Santa Claus even came to the shelter. So that was really amazing. That was really awesome. So we just literally, we're in this place and it was, we're going. That's true. That is true. And what it's going through, trying, looking for places, looking for a lot of places, trying to find somewhere to go. Because like I said, we only had 6 months. Putting applications in places. And we got a letter in the mail. We got approved for where we're at now. So February 2015, we move out of the homeless shelter. We first will do our paperwork, do our intake interview, and then February the 15th, 2015, we move out and we move into here. We've been in this place since 2015. So we are so pleased of what everybody has done. Gateway Christian Church is a local church here. When we lost all of the stuff, we lost a lot, but we gained it back because everybody in that church donated shoes, toys, and clothes for all of us here. Give it back to us. We were so pleased to be off the streets. We were so pleased with the improvement that we made. And we were so pleased that we didn't even have to pay that water bill. You know, I wanted to make an attempt to pay it, but the balance got wiped out. I don't understand. So we was just so pleased to meet Miss Cutlip and her telling us when can we be there? When can we come? When can we show up? Basically, it was amazing to meet somebody like that to take us in. It was. So I just want to say that is our story. A lot of us have been homeless before. A lot of us has had this similar situation or different situations. And so I do want to say thank you, Jericho House. Thank you, Miss Cutlip, for what you have done to help us and take us in the way you did. So that is our story. That is our life. Something we wanted to share with you all. We even shared it on Facebook, ladies and gentlemen. We want to thank each and every one of y'all have tuned into this story, this true story. We want to thank you for being here. Thanks a lot. It means a lot to us. So if you've been on this live stream or not, please go back and watch a replay. Please share the story out. We want the world to hear this. We want everybody to hear this. We just want to be able to touch somebody and help somebody some way, somehow by telling our story. Make sure you check out the description, ladies and gentlemen. Check out the P.O. Box. Also follow us on social media. If you're willing and able to donate to the PayPal, it's much appreciated and acceptable. Also, check out the new merchandise. Get you some merchandise. Wait till you see what the Mitchell Family Reality Show TV has coming your way next.